is Lara. In today's video I'm going to show you how I made those two sugar skull pendants, which I kind of wanted to do forever because I really love sugar skulls. I even went so far that I have one tattooed on my forearm, so that kind of says it all. And in one of the shows I've been watching lately on Netflix, one of the characters was wearing a really cute sugar skull pendant, and I thought that might work if I made it of modeling clay, which is basically what we're gonna do today, so have fun. For my sugar skull pendants, I've used the modeling clay by the brand Fimo, but you can use any modeling clay that suits you as long as it hardens in the oven. And the first obvious step was to knead it properly so that the modeling clay softens so that I could form my sugar skulls of it. Once the modeling clay was soft enough, I rolled it in a bowl and then I started forming it with fingers in a shape that resembles a skull. Once I was happy with the basic form, I took several tools that helped me form it further and to form some details, like for example the nose, the eyes and the teeth. For that you don't really need any special tools. You can take pretty much anything that you have at home that will work for you. It is always helpful to have a picture of a sugar skull in front of you while you do that, because that helps you figuring out which details you want to add. By the way, I used a plastic toothpick. You can see me now making the dents with the flat side, and for the teeth I used the sharp side, and I also used a wooden stick and the back side of a brush. The practical thing about modeling clay is that should you end up with a form that you don't like at all, you can just simply roll it into a ball again, knead it a bit through and then start over, and then you can try to make it better next time. I made a second pendant which was a bit flatter because I wanted to try a few shapes, and I basically went through the same procedure with several tools. When I was done with forming of the sugar skulls, I took the plastic toothpick and I punched a small hole on top of each one of them. The holes shouldn't be too far from the edge because this is the place where I will pull through small metal rings. Once I had my holes on top of each of the pendants, I put them in the oven for 30 minutes. The temperature for my modeling clay is supposed to be 230 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 110 degrees Celsius. The next step was painting my sugar skulls. For that I used several nail polishes. So the first one is a black one with a very thin brush. That one would be for details, and I picked also several nail polishes for the entire surface. So here are two sparkly nail polishes, one is white and the other one has silver glitters. I picked a light golden nail polish for the second sugar skull. And last but not least, I picked a clear top coat. I started painting the flatter sugar skull with the white sandy nail polish first, and then I took the light gold nail polish and painted the entire surface of the second sugar skull. Then I used the black nail polish with the pointier and thinner brush for adding some details. Then I painted over the cheeks and the teeth again with the nail polishes that I've used before for the entire surface of each of the skulls, and I left only the nose clear black. Once the nail polish was dry, I started gluing on the rhinestones. I picked several shades I liked together, and for gluing them on I used a regular super glue. I used the silver glitter nail polish for the surface of the flatter sugar skull as a second layer. Then I waited for about an hour until the nail polish was completely dry. After that, I could turn both of the sugar skulls over, and I painted also the backside. Once also the backside was dry, I decided to add a few nail stickers on the foreheads of my sugar skulls. Next, I added the small metal rings on the top of each sugar skull, and then I pulled through the chains. Yeah, and then there was only one step left, which was polishing the entire surface of each of the pendant with a clear nail polish. I waited for about an hour again until the nail polish was completely dried, and I also aired out the room properly because it kind of smelled like nail polish, and then I was done. Whenever I create things, it doesn't matter if it's sewing or creating jewelry or decoration, I always like taking a few steps back and looking at the designs from a little bit bigger distance, just to be sure that there's nothing missing, that I really like the design. And sometimes I end up still liking the thing that I created, and sometimes I feel like, I might want to add a few details. I think this sugar skull is gonna be the first case. I really like how this came out. But that wasn't the case with this sugar skull. I felt like it looked a bit too flat. It needed something extra, like it needed a bit more dimension. So I have decided to glue white rhinestones around the entire shape, which is what I've done. I glued them on with a super glue, and I'm gonna go a bit closer with the camera, so I'm gonna zoom in so that you can see the new result, which is a result I'm much happier with. So this is how it looks like now. Which leads me to an additional information to my flower necklace, which was my last video. There were several empty spots, and I told you guys that I was considering adding either pearls or buttons or more flowers. And I finally made up my mind, and I bought 2 pairs of buttons. One of the buttons is turquoise and the other one is a dark blue, and I just sewed them on and decorated the center of each of the button with golden glitter nail polish by Essie, and this is the final result. I think that those 2 shades rounded up the color spectrum there, and now I'm finally happy with that one too. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If yes, don't forget to leave a comment or a thumb up. If you didn't subscribe to my channel yet, I would be very happy if you did so, and thank you so much for watching. Have a great time and see you next time. Bye!